And good evening, sports fans, and welcome again to another edition of Big Time Sports. I'm the melatones of Charlie Jones, and tonight a very special guest. This is a big show for me. It kind of tugs at my heartstrings. It's all about a talented young man from a small town going big time and possibly even bigger. My guest this evening is former Dover great Joey Farthing. Joey, along with one of his ex-coaches, along with Coach Bob Von Kennel, of course, who spent a lot of time with Joey on the basketball court. They will both be sitting right here when we come back from this break. But before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on in Big Time Sports. We are right in the middle of softball tournaments. So we will be on the road, okay? We will be softball tournament and high school baseball. If you're a spring sports fan, you got to stay tuned to Big Time Sports. You can catch our schedule on our website. Go to BigTimeSportsOhio.com. At Big Time Sports Ohio, it's the high school sports junkie's dream because we've got it all right there on our website. Check out the Big Time Sports Facebook. 54,000, I repeat, 54,000 followers on our Big Time Sports Facebook. I got to mention my buddy, Coach Von Kennel's buddy, and maybe Joey's buddy. I'm sure he's Joey's buddy, our guy Percy Garner. Percy is a Big Time Sports guy. Percy is the host of our podcast show. It's called Big Time Sports Today. So catch Percy on our podcast show, Big Time Sports Today. Now, we also have a podcast that's called The Dogs. Now, let me spell dogs for you. DAWGS, The Dogs. It's all about the Cleveland Browns. So make sure you catch those two pod shows at BigTimeSportsOhio.com. I'm going to throw it to break. When we come back, the Joey Farthing and the retired Coach Von Kennel will be sitting right here with those mellow tones. We'll be back after you watch this from Joey Farthing's favorite automotive dealer. It's Ferris Chevrolet Toyota.
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Wendy's has a fresh JBC or double stack in the app for only $1. In fact, they're so fresh, this JBC is still getting made. There she is. Show off. For the freshest deals on what you love, gotta be Wendy's. Wendy's has a fresh JBC or double stack in the app for only $1. In fact, they're so fresh, this JBC is still getting made. There she is. Show off. For the freshest deals on what you love, gotta be Wendy's.
We are back to the Big Time Sports Show, and tonight a very special guest, young man from a small town. Big time he's going, and he's going to go even big time after that. Let me introduce my young friend, Joey Farthing. And Joey, welcome to the Big Time Sports Show, my friend.
How we doing, man? Happy to be here.
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I'm tickled pink that you took the time out of your busy schedule to come here and be on the Big Time Sports Show.
Appreciate that.
Now, Joey, I don't usually do it this way, but this gentleman sitting beside you, you've spent some time with him.
Of course.
You know him well. I'm going to let you introduce that young man to everybody out there in TV land.
This is Coach Von Kennel, legendary basketball coach at Dover. Got to spend a lot of time with him. When I actually first came to Dover, he was very welcoming. Came over to my house, brought me a Dover t-shirt, just all-around great guy. It's Coach Von Kennel.
Hey, Coach, Coach Von Kettle, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Charlie. Great to be here and honor Joey for all his accomplishments.
Wow, that's exactly a good word for it. Joey, I can't say enough about what you've done in life and where you're going. This is only a half an hour show. So let's start with the good old days at Dover High School. And Bobby, you can jump in and give us a quick story whenever but at Dover, you ran track, you were a basketball guy, and you were a football guy. Okay, now, which sport, if you had to pick only one sport, which sport do you like the best?
Football now. I got to go with football
I
now.
was going to say, because people in Hawaii will be watching this show. All right, Coach Von Kettle, tell me about Joey Farthing as a student at Dover and as a basketball guy.
Joey became a very good student there through the years and all-around athlete. Football, great wide receiver. Basketball, great player for us. Is it school record for the most dunks in a season was 16.
16 dunks?
16 dunks and I think 3 in 1 quarter at Tri-Valley.
Yeah.
And state champion in the high jump. So his athleticism rang through across all 3 sports. And he was a great defender basketball-wise and receiver-wise. He kept sliding for TC and Aiden to find him open all the time.
Wow, so state high jump champion, right? And imagine, Joey, you still have several records in track at Dover High School, correct, Bob? If I say anything, Bob, jump in.
100-meter dash and the long jump, and then a state champion in the high jump.
Wow. Okay, so you played, of course, not only did you have the opportunity to play for this legendary Coach Von Kettle, I'm going to give you another name that's going to make you smile, and that's Dan Ift.
Amazing guy.
Yeah, Dan Ift is a good guy. He's one that you want to keep, right?
For sure.
All right, so what's the best thing about being a student athlete at Dover High School?
I would just say like the will to win. All the guys, like especially in my grade, we set the record too for most wins in a year between all men's sports. So like with my grade, it was just the will to win. All the guys came, they worked their butts off every single day. Great guys to be around, great group, just all around amazing people, and just compete is the word I would put for that.
How do you juggle a schedule that says you got all these tests coming up, in your classes that you attend every day, plus here comes Coach Von Kettle, say practices at 3:30, so make sure. So how do you juggle all this? Because here you are, a 3-sport guy, okay, and a good student that Coach Von Kettle just told us about.
Okay, biggest thing I would say, first off, you got to keep your faith first. Keep that at the forefront of everything you do. Trust God. That's the biggest thing to put in the basket. And then otherwise, just like make sure you're paying attention in classes. The biggest things I could say from a health standpoint, make sure you guys are eating clean food. Don't be filling your body with bull crap like McDonald's and Hardee's and all that stuff. That's not going to fuel you to win. Second biggest thing is sleep. I know people probably hear it all the time from like coaches and other people, like the 8 hours, you need 8 hours. It's real. You need sleep. It's going to, like, you have that morning fog that'll take that away. You'll be able to focus better in classes. You're going to recover better as an athlete and be able to come back the next day and keep kicking butt. So
how many hours of sleep should the old guy get a night?
8 or 9. The more the better.
The more the better?
The more the better, for sure.
Okay. All right. Now, you mentioned, now you see, you're putting me in harm's way here when you talk about things like stay away from McDonald's, stay away from Wendy's and all this. My sponsors, I got sponsors in this show that are going to be ringing my phone off the hook.
Gotcha.
But you really believe that? Your diet is a real strict diet?
For sure.
All right, and of course you've been doing this way before Hawaii got a hold of you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now speaking of Hawaii, Bob, how does he go from Youngstown State to Hawaii? Coach, you're a coach, you know about this portal stuff.
The portal, it was there, and you put yourself in there qualified with your statistics and your abilities, your sprint times, and all the things rolled together to make yourself an attractive package, and to have a chance to leave Youngstown and maybe go someplace a little bigger. I'm sure that there were more than just Hawaii knocking at the door after they got some of the film and other stuff, but they do their homework. So if you get an offer they've already studied you pretty good, and they know what they're going to use you for.
For
Okay.
sure.
Now, Joey, you redshirted at Youngstown State.
Yeah,
Correct?
my true freshman year I redshirted, and then this previous year I tore my hip labrum in August, and then it got misdiagnosed a few times, and then went and got a second opinion, got it figured out, got surgery December 18th, and then I've been rehabbing from that, so I'm like fully back now though.
So you're ready to go. You could take a hit.
I could.
Okay.
I could have took one while I was hurt though too, so it's
Okay. All right. So, give me one sentence to describe your time at Youngstown State.
one sentence. Let me
It
think.
can be more than one. But
We'll go one sentence. I would say character development would be what I say.
okay. All right. So you learned some things that perhaps you didn't know before you got there,
For sure.
but now you've got them right up here. So the next time the opportunity occurs, you're ready for them, right?
Yeah, like just developing in my faith, biggest thing, and then just learning football. Like only really playing one real year of football. I didn't know like how to learn a playbook, what's what, like what plays go where. I was kind of just like run deep and then they throw the ball. So
Run
it was
deep.
Like, so
Just-
learning the playbook
Just run
is
deep.
definitely
And, yeah, make
Run
sure
by 'em.
you're underneath it, right?
yeah.
Just run by them.
And they had a good playbook and everything. I just didn't know what I was doing, so they had to take special precaution with me because I didn't know what was going on. But
All right. So you keep mentioning faith, and I like that. So let's get into that a little bit now. You are deeply involved in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Tell me how that evolved, and tell me where you're at with the FCA.
yeah, like I want to take this time too, like thank Jesus Christ, just my Lord and Savior, for giving me the opportunity to be here, to play football, to do what I love. Like without Him at the forefront of everything I'm doing, none of this would be possible. And His forgiveness and His love is it means the world to me. It's who I am. I used to have my identity in sports and all these other things, but these things are so temporary, and our life here is so short, and eternity is forever. And it's so much more important than sports or anything else in your life. And I would encourage every single person to take the time to open your Bible, just look at things, just learn about it. It can change your life. It brings me so much peace, joy, and happiness just knowing that I have a forever home somewhere, and this is not forever. So with that, I've always been in FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I didn't really start getting involved in my faith until I was about a junior in high school, and that's kind of when I released my identity in sports and all these other things and learned, hey, like there is a creator, there is someone who loves me and brought me here, and these things just do not matter. The money, the fame, the girls, like none of that can compare to the joy that's coming. And with that, like
Wow.
Bible studies,
Wow.
speaking at campus revivals and other church events, just smiling at people, just being an example of leading and action in my faith, and also like just speaking at New Point recently, just sharing my faith, sharing the gospel that Jesus died on the cross to forgive us for our sins so that we can have a life in heaven with Him.
You know what I like? I'm going to pick a sentence out of what you just did. Your sports, your athletics, your stardom in sports is temporary, okay? But your love for Christ is forever.
Absolutely.
Now that's an astounding statement.
Appreciate that.
Now you just spoke out at you mentioned New Point. You just spoke out at New Point. You know, with a big time sports guy, Percy
Yep, Percy.
Gardner. Percy, of course, is a man of faith. So Percy gave me some footnotes about what you and he did out there at New Point Community Church. So what are you going to do now? You're going to Hawaii.
Yep.
And Bobby, can you believe he flies from Cleveland to Chicago? Okay, then he spends 10 hours, Bobby, on an airplane
a lot
from
of flight.
Chicago to Hawaii. Now, Bobby, could you be on an airplane for 10 hours?
I don't think.
I don't think I could.
I better have one of those seats that turns into a bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so what are you going to do now when you get to Hawaii with this FCA thing that you're peddling?
I connected with some of the players on the phone already, just with Christ and stuff they had. His name was Logan Taylor. He called me. He's a linebacker there. He leads a Bible study, things like that. Strong, faith-driven guy. Amazing faith-driven team. The coaches, the players. It's a really good fit. I already have some church connections there. His name's Joshua Perlman. He said he actually knows someone that runs a church in Hawaii. So I already have some
you got
stuff
some good
building
ins
up
there.
when I get there. So I seem to have some ins already, but see where God takes me when I get there.
So Bobby, Coach Bonkin and I, we have a few years on you, okay?
A little bit, maybe a couple.
And I'm proud as a peacock, not just to know you, that you've done all these things so quickly in life, okay? Bobby kind of tugs right here, doesn't it? When he goes across the pond and you think, wow, is he ever going to come back and see the old guys?
I think he will. I think his faith does that for him. But it's great to hear a young person talk about Christ and know that he's their Savior and he's died on the cross for you and gives you faith. I mean, I read devotions every day, and I'm sure you do too, Joey. And it's great to hear that. We kind of got you started when you came the junior and senior years at Dover.
At Dover, yeah.
We made him a better driver, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, at Dover they called him Dr. Dunk, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, so listen, telling me I got to throw it to break, so let's do that. Let's take a quick break. You stay right there. You come back. Joey Farthing and Coach Von Cano in the house with old Mellow Tones. We'll be back after you watch this from Coach Von Cano's favorite automotive dealer. It's Ferris Chevrolet Toyota.
So how many?
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
The other guy's insurance, you got Kyle.
Hey Kyle, it's Brenda. I was just reading through your proposal and I have a few questions.
When we drafted up your proposal, we really aimed right down the middle.
Sometimes wonder if your insurance agent true priority is more time on the golf course.
At Hummel, we do insurance differently. Our expert advisors help you not only mitigate risk, but operate more efficiently, decrease employee turnover, and increase your bottom line.
We are back to the Big Time Sports Show. Joey Farthing and Coach Von Cano in the house with old Mellow Tones. And Joey, before we threw it to that break, we were talking about expectations at Hawaii. What are you thinking right now? You're going across the pond. It's a 10-hour flight from Chicago. You're the only guy. You're going to be all strangers when you get off that airplane. All strangers. Are you going to fit in? Are you going to make the team? How much playing time are you going to get? What is your training? How do you train? How do you get ready for all this stuff at Hawaii?
Okay, biggest thing, it's like corny, but why fit in when you're born to stand out? I hope I don't fit in. I hope I stand out to the coaches. I hope I stand out in my faith and all these other things, and that I can be a leader and an example for others. Obviously, coming off of hip surgery, I got a lot of work to do to rebuild my strength, rebuild my mind. Got a lot of mental work to do, obviously moving to a new place, but more importantly, learning the playbook, learning the system, learning the new guys. We have a new run and shoot offense, which is perfect for a receiver like myself because we're just going to be chucking it, throwing the ball every which way, which is going to be amazing. Diet, got to stay on top of that stuff, like with cooking and eating right and all those important things. So with that, yeah.
How do you know what the main course, what the main meal is out there in Hawaii? You've been in Ohio all your life. Okay.
That's a really good pineapple.
Well, I was just going to say, what if you sit down for supper and they put a pineapple sliced up in front of you for supper?
I mean, I'll eat it. As long as I'm really bad with spicy food, so as long as it's not spicy, I'll eat it. But they have a lot of the same stuff out there. Fish is one of the cleanest, best foods you can eat. So they have a lot of really good fish, poke stuff out there. So I'll eat a lot of that too. And then they got your typical Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco. So I'll be grocery shopping there.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what about Bob? Can you see our young friend Joey Farthing on a surfboard over there in Hawaii?
I don't know. He would have taken a chance before, I'm sure. I don't know about now. He's got a lot of riding on playing at Hawaii.
All right, so, yeah. All right, so
needing to get hurt.
So you say you're going to be chucking the football, you're going to be snap and go, which you're right, it's good for you. You got nice soft hands, right?
Of course.
Just throw it. I'll get it. Just throw it my direction, right? So that means you are up and down the field, up and down the field. That means, Coach, he's got to be in top physical condition.
Yeah, for one, and it also means they play a lot of guys because they got to give those guys a break.
Right.
If they run a 40-yard route 3 times in a row.
So your diet is going to change when you report to camp in Hawaii?
I mean, I keep it clean now, but I'm sure like there'll be different foods for me to try and eat, but I think I'll generally like keep it the same healthy stuff, you know.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
You know, I didn't have breakfast this morning. I slept in.
That's
to be
not
fair,
good.
I got home late last night.
Shame on you.
I got home real late, whatever, from Hawaii, so I actually ended up sleeping until it was time to come here because my sleep schedule's all messed up. They have a 6-hour time difference, so cut me some slack. But
6-hour time difference.
Yeah.
Wow, Bobby, how are we going to watch him on TV if it's 6 hours?
I didn't think it was that many.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it's 6.
Okay. So, what are you going to have for supper then? And then we'll get on.
Okay, I'll probably go home, cook some steaks, you know, cook some greens, maybe some mixed fruit, salad. Just keep it clean.
Wait,
man.
so
Some
you eat
water.
red meat?
Of course.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's the chef.
Meat's good for you, man. You need it.
Okay, so when we were off camera just now, you and Coach Von Kettle were talking about schools in the portal that reached out and contacted you.
For sure.
Now, these are schools that if they reach out to you, they're interested in you as a player.
Absolutely.
Can you tell everybody out there in TV land who some of those schools were?
I don't want to do that, but I will say that it was a lot of opportunity, a lot of blessings with that. Very thankful for all the coaches that reached out and the opportunities that I had. Yeah.
Okay, so when they reach out to you, though, it's like Coach Von Kennel said, they have your pedigree. They know everything about you.
For sure. They do their homework, absolutely. They're checking everything.
Okay, so let's say, and we don't know, and you're not going to tell us, and that's up to you. Let's say that the Ohio State University reaches out to you in the portal. Take me from there. What happens?
So first thing, they'll just be like, "What's up, Joey? Like, this is Coach blah, blah, blah from whatever school. How are you doing? Would love to connect on the phones," usually how it starts. Have a phone call with them, kind of hear them out, hear how they're interested, things like that, connect with them. Then they'll usually ask for transcripts or whatever after that just to kind of see where you're at in school, because a lot of schools, like if you're failing out, if you're in school, pay attention, it's important, get good grades, it matters. But they'll check your grades and stuff, and then see, you got to be eligible to be able to transfer to a lot of these schools. Even if it's like a smarter, more prestigious school, you got to have really good grades, so emphasis on that. And then they'll go from there. You'll kind of connect over the next few days, and then they'll try to bring you on a visit if you're interested, and then if not, go from there. Then they might offer full scholarship plus some, just kind of around there, and then you go from there.
Okay, so Hawaii is a D1 program.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about this? What about money? I mean, don't you big time athletes get afforded some money if you come play for me?
Yeah, there's a lot of like NIL stuff now, especially with athletes being able to get paid and stuff, which is a blessing for athletes because we definitely do work our butts off. But yeah,
is Hawaii going to take care of you when mom and dad want to come over and visit? I mean, who pays for those plane tickets?
Well, flight for me, mine was paid for on my visit and everything. They got me a hotel and stuff, which was nice. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's a full ride there with like stipend and opportunity and stuff like that. So it's very fortunate, very blessed.
Wow, congratulations, Coach. We got to take our last time out. Okay, so let's do that. So stay right there. We've got Joey and Coach Von Kennel in the house today. We'll be back after you watch this from Ferris Chevrolet Toyota.
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
Think Ferris. It's always that personal touch that they know you.
Primetime has people that can help you through every step of the way, and when you're my age, you need that extra help.
You don't want a lot of questioning when you're already dealing with a medical issue. Primetime is trying to help us get down the road as long as we can.
And if you're not in the right situation, a senior can lose everything. I feel with Primetime we picked the best program.
I wanted something that I could learn a little bit more about what I was passionate about.
Because I wanted to learn a trade that would always be in demand.
Buckeye has so many opportunities for everyone.
You're here because you want to do what you came here to do.
This is the best choice that I've made. I just think it's set me up to be a better person.
Welcome back to the Big Time Sports Show. Wow, this is only a half an hour show. I could sit here with Coach Von Kennel and Joey Farthing for 3 hours probably and just have a conversation with them because they're both great guys. They're both Christian guys. They believe what they believe in, and that is pretty good stuff. So, Joey, when you get to Hawaii, not only are you going to catch that touchdown pass, every once in a while you got to go into the classroom.
Sadly, yeah.
Sadly, huh?
Nah, it's not too bad.
But you were an honor student at Dover, so you like to study, don't you?
I don't like it, but you got to do what you got to do.
Okay, so what is your major going to be at Hawaii?
Okay, I'm going to be doing business marketing with a minor in entrepreneurship.
Give me the second one again. Marketing and what?
A minor in entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship's like learning how to start your own business, build your own brand.
Like owning a Big Time Sports.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. You know, if you keep your nose clean, I may sell you Big Time Sports when you graduate from Hawaii.
Let me know.
How about that? Huh? Okay, so now, 5 years from now, okay, you got 3 years left of eligibility to play football at the University of Hawaii. Yep. By the way, what's the nickname? The Rainbow something?
Rainbow Warriors, baby.
Rainbow Warriors, Joey Farthing. Wow, we're going to have to remember that,
One
Coach.
of the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah. Hey, so 5 years down the road, where are we going to see you?
Still following Christ, of course, but I'd like to make it to the NFL potentially if that's what God's will is for me. Obviously, I want to be happy. Hopefully be with the same girl, have the same dog, have the same great family and friends around me, and pursuing my dreams.
All right, very best of luck with that. Final question now, before we start thinking about ending this wonderful saga we've got going here. When can we expect you, Joey Farthing, back? Well, Coach, you think he'll get bigger, even bigger time and forget all about us little guys back home?
Nope. That's not what he's
not
like.
me,
That's
man.
not the way he's made,
That's
right?
not what he's like.
Appreciate that.
All right. So, Coach, all right. So, when can I expect you back here on the Big Time Sports Show?
See me back on the mainland, maybe for Christmas, depending on how the season goes. Hopefully we win a bowl game, and I'll come back home after that. So I'll have some time at Christmas where I can come home. Other than that, I'm aloha, baby.
I'll tell you what, if you come back home for Christmas and come on the show, I'm going to give you your very own Big Time Sports t-shirt, okay?
That's what's up.
All right, here we go, guys. It's time to close the door now on the Big Time Sports Show. And I've got two athletes here.
Nah, we got a third, right?
Forget about me. Anyway, you guys need to help me close the door.